Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at Azure Content Understanding and how we can build a call center analytics platform where we can take calls and transcripts from our clients and use AI to analyze them to get some insights and to provide a better, faster service. So for our example, let's say we have some internet service provider company and we want to take calls, record those calls, and provide some analysis over them using AI and get some insights. And in this way, provide a better, faster service, get some analysis later on, and see what our problems are in our business, how we can improve, and what are our bottlenecks. And we can get a lot of data and insights automatically using an architecture similar to this one. So in this case, as you can see here, we have users, of course, which are our clients. And as a first step, the user makes calls, and I have a audio of that call that I'll share with the system. But basically, the user makes a call, they complain about our services, or they provide some feedback saying how awesome we are, whatever it is. And then we store that audio files and transcripts in storage account. Then we're using Event Grid to notify and to create a queue message using storage queue in this case to keep it cheap. Then we will be using Azure Container Apps, and we will have a worker container that reads the queue and then gets the files from storage account, then uses Azure Content Understanding to get conversation details from audio and text files. And what Azure Content Understanding does is it's basically getting entities from our files. So here we are inside Content Understanding Studio. As you can see, I've created a project in here. Let's take a look. So in here, as you can see, we provide files, in this case, audio files, and then we can create a schema with entities. And what Content Understanding service does is it's reading this audio file and it's filling up these entities for us. For example, it will provide a one paragraph summary of the call. It will provide us the customer name, the problem details, the sentiment of the call, and we can have different categories, for example, positive, neutral, negative, and the churn risk, so how likely it is for the customer to stop using our services. We provide categories here. We can add different categories if we want. And then we have an overall category of our service. For example, if it's internet service, TV, mobile, billing, any other category that we want. And we'll also save the raw transcript because we want to also use Azure AI Search. And that's basically it. Let me actually test this from here. Let me add this file here. Let's run the analysis. And let me show you what this audio file does. So here is basically what I said, playing it as the customer in the call in this audio file. So I'm saying that my name is Kawi Andrensky and I'm reaching out because I'm having a serious issue with your internet service. And then I explain what the issue is. And now let's see what Content Understanding does. It provided a summary. It kind of figured out my name, but as you can see, it kind of messed up a bit. It provides problem details, the sentiment, the churn risk, the category, and the raw transcript. Now, let's go back to the architecture. So once we do the content understanding bit, we store these entities inside our database. For this, we will be using Postgres. And then we use Azure AI Search for RAG. And for that, we use the raw transcript that you saw here. the last step is chat with calls. So what this means is once you have the data in, so the customer data in, you can ask questions about the data using Microsoft Foundry. And in my case, I'm using LangGraph. I've created a few agents that work behind the scenes to provide this service. And now let's see this in action. So here is the application. Here I ingest the file. So I'll provide the same file here. I'll upload it and it goes to the storage account. Then an event grid triggers a new queue message that the file has been uploaded. Then the worker reads the message, figures out the file, takes the file, and it starts doing content understanding on that file. It extracts the entities and it saves those entities inside Postgres. Then it adds the index and stuff inside Azure AI Search so that we can use RAG. And for our case, the way I'm doing RAG here is I'm combining both of these. So I'm getting the entities and what I got from the row transcript. And then when I chat with the calls, I get both of these because I want more context. And now, if we go back and we go under calls, we'll see that we have a new entry and we have the data that we want. So it's about Kalen, not Kalayan, but yeah, you get the idea. It has the customer name here. It has the service type, which is internet, and the sentiment is negative, and there is a high chance that this user will churn. So yeah, we have the summary, we have problem details, we have the raw transcript, and we can start asking questions now using this data. And we can ask something like, what's the core problem that this customer is having? And for that, we will get both Azure AI Search data and Postgres data, and we will add that as a context and then send that to the LLM using agentic orchestration with LangGraph and using Microsoft Foundry. And we have the answer. So the core problem is that customer Kalendrensky is experiencing an extremely unstable internet connection that keeps cutting out randomly, yada, yada, yada. Great, that works. And that's it, guys. That's what I wanted to show you. And before we wrap up, let's go to Microsoft Azure to see the resources that we deployed for this architecture. So we have Container Apps environment. We have 3 container apps. One is the API, one is the front-end application, and one is the worker. We have the storage account. And if we go here, we see that we have the uploads container where we upload the audio files. We have Azure AI Search where we add the transcripts. So here are the transcripts. And here is the data. I'm using managed identity with the required rows to connect. I'm not using API keys. We have App Insights. And we have the Event Grid system topic here, which is, we're using this event subscription, which is blob to queue. And of course, we have our database. We're using Postgres. We have a database called CoDB. And here we have the tables. In this case, we have 2 tables. One is chat messages, and the other one is customer calls. And this one that you're seeing here is customer calls. As you can see, we're saving all the entities from Azure Content Understanding service so that we can show them in the UI. And the chat messages simply saves the messages. I really hope you find this architecture useful. And if you did, make sure to subscribe, like this video, and share it with others. Thank you.